Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I am going to be doing a book review, and the book I'm reviewing that I finally finished recently is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Dark Artifice series. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or more, um, but it's the first book in the series, and oh my gosh, you guys, I loved it. It took me a couple months to finally finish it. So this is going to be a non-spoiler review, and then I'll do a spoiler talk later on, because there is so much that goes on in this book that I really need to talk about. So I will do a spoiler talk later on, but for now, this is going to be the non-spoiler review. If you don't know what Lady Midnight is about, which I'm be surprised if you don't, but if you don't know what Lady Midnight is about, um, it follows the story of Emma and Julian and the Blackthorn family, and this takes place 5 years after the events that happened in City of Heavenly Fire. So after those events, the kids are pretty much, they live in the LA Institute. And so there have been these murders that started happening around the city. Some of them humans, some of them fairies. And because some of them are fairies, the Clave has forbidden shadow hunters to kind of get involved in the investigation. So Emma and Julian and his family begin to look into these murders, as they're very similar to how Emma's parents were killed or found. Um, so the way the bodies of these murders have been found is very similar to how Emma's parents were killed. And Emma is really wanting to find out what happened to her to her parents, why they were killed, how they were killed. Because the Clave has always told her, oh, Sebastian killed them, during the war, but she never really believed that. So she really wants to find out what happened to her parents. And so when these murders start coming up, it leads her into an investigation to really figure out what happened. So that is just like one of the many plots that is going on in this book. If you haven't read Cassandra Clare's other books yet, I will say you should read those before you get to Lady Midnight. Because even though, the series is a different series and it follows different characters, the events from the other series do play a pretty big role in this series, the way it affects what happens. So I would definitely recommend, if you haven't yet, I don't know what you're doing with your life if you haven't yet, but definitely read The Mortal Instruments, The Infernal Devices, and also I would recommend reading the tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. Those are 10 novellas. They're pretty short, but there are 10 of them. But I would recommend reading those as well before getting into Lady Midnight, just because there is some stuff that happens in the novella that's like it's one of the subplots in Lady Midnight. And so you might not understand it as well. Not saying you couldn't read Lady Midnight if you didn't read the novellas, but I feel like you would have a better understanding of this one subplot that happens in Lady Midnight if you do read the novellas first. I absolutely loved this. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. If I could give it 1,000,000 stars, I would. This was the best first book in the series that Cassandra Clare has written, and I'm sure you've heard other people say that too when they've reviewed Lady Midnight, because it's true. This is by far the strongest and best first book in a series that she has written, and I love her series. I do. I absolutely adore the Infernal Devices, but this was even stronger than Clockwork Angel. So I cannot wait to see where this series goes because it's so good. And there's so much that goes on. Like, literally about 50 million things is happening in this story. It's just awesome. I love Emma and Julian and Christina. They're all just awesome, and all of the Blackthorn kids, especially Ty. I have a soft spot in my heart for Ty because Ty is autistic, and they don't say it in the story flat out because obviously in the Shadowhunter world there really isn't a word for his disability, but you can flat out tell Ty is autistic, pretty clear, plain as day. And so I have a soft spot in my heart for him because I have a younger brother who is also autistic. So Ty reminded me of him a bit. So yeah, I love Ty and Livy and all of them. I feel so bad for the Blackthorns because their family has gone through so much. And then of course they have their uncle Arthur, who I feel bad for Arthur as well because, you know, the one family member that they have to look out for them and take care of them, and he's schizophrenic, so he really can't do it. So all of this, the responsibility and burden of raising these 4 kids has fallen onto Julian's shoulders. So I just feel so bad for him and their family because they've just been through so much, which pisses me off that the Clave refused to try to get Mark back all that time, and they're still keeping Helen separated from them. Ugh, the Clave pisses me off like nothing else. I seriously can't stand them. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. Characters are amazing. Plot is amazing. Oh my gosh, I love this book so much. There's so much that goes on. And so much emotions and feels and times where I'm like, what the heck? No. There were twists. And that was another thing. There were twists in here towards the end that I just did not see coming until like maybe a page before or 2 pages before, whatever. But there were some twists that I was just like, what? No! How? So, yeah, I'm not going to talk about those in this video, so I'm going to keep it non-spoiler, but I will get into them in my spoiler review, because there is so much twist and shocking things that I'm just like, I need to talk about this. I think that is pretty much all I'm going to say without getting into any spoilers. I will see you guys in my spoiler talk if you have read this already. So, see you later. Bye.